Hey heretics, how are you all doing? I'm just getting out of a week sick in bed, which is not where you want to be these days, so I hope you're all healthy. And this morning, someone very close to me was going into a favorite story of theirs about the things they couldn't do and about how not being able to do these things had shaped their life. And, until now, I've usually responded to this very familiar story by blocking it out. But today I decided to do two things. I didn't answer, but I decided to play the, well, what if this person is perfectly right game. And I also played the, yes, these things have affected how this person has lived their life, and yet this same not being able to do things could have been used as a tool for growth. I'm used to thinking, oh, that's such a handy safety mechanism. If we think we can't do things, then we are then we get to stay in our safety comfort zone, and being a helpless martyr victim is so comfortable and familiar and wonderful, especially coming from certain personal histories, which this person has. But I realized that this person wasn't doing it on purpose. They weren't consciously saying, oh, I'm going to make this wonderful narrative that will always keep me safe. That's so clever of me. They weren't doing it on purpose. But since they had lived a long life by now, continually building into this one narrative, the character makeup that could have been used for exponential personal growth had been used for exponential personal destruction. It just made me realize that we all have the seeds in us, the seeds of shadow and the seeds of light, that will define our characters. Yes, the fact that this person was saying that what they couldn't do had defined their life, like, that's really right. Knowing yourself is a wonderful thing. However, it's up to you. Are you going to use all of your seeds of light and your seeds of shadow? Are you going to use all of them, get to know all of them, and use them all for growth? Or are you going to turn those same seeds into the seeds of despair? Think of it as like we get our flower bed and it's all full of seeds. But depending on how we water these seeds, what water we choose to use, these seeds can either help us or hurt us. The same seeds. And I do think that it's valuable. This is a big change today from like the past. I do think that it's valuable to recognize what we cannot do. A lot of attention, especially in the West, is placed on, oh, you can do anything you put your mind to. But it's not true. We can do what we can do. I, for instance, what am I never gonna do? I'm probably never gonna win a Nobel Prize for mathematics, and you know what? That's fine. Like, knowing what we cannot do does help us bring clarity to what we can do. It is an essential part that people usually don't talk about, of understanding our greater whole. And we have to at least try to understand our greater whole to move forward in a powerful way. But what I'm saying here is that knowing what we can't do is the necessary shadow to knowing what we can do. We need both of them. And then we need to accept and love the light and the shadow both together as essential parts of our whole. And then use this whole, not just the light, use both of them together with love to move forward into what we can do. The shadow side we need to use for growth. Otherwise, we can get into this horrible, scary, lifelong pattern of using our shadow side to destroy us, and that's not what it's there for. We move forward with the light and the shadow. So look into your shadows, love them, recognize them, and use them as, like, accept them. Be like, oh yeah, that's a thing I can't do. Awesome! That's part of this other thing over here that I can do, that I'm so great at, and also I derive a lot of power from my can't doingness of this thing over here. You need to take all of that together and use all of that as a force for growth. And this is very important. This is something you must do. So yeah, think of this person with love. And use their lesson, but use it as a force for development. Can you do that for me? Good luck.